In high definition, local news, better time. This is Fox Wilmington News at 6:30.
Thanks for joining us tonight and happy 4th of July. I'm Nikki Bussey filling in for John Evans and Ashley Kozakowski. Right now, people are setting up and preparing to celebrate Independence Day, and that includes the city of Wilmington. Each year, an impressive display of fireworks go off in downtown, and the celebration all starts with a street fair, which is happening right now. Fox Wilmington's Alex Giles joins us live from downtown Wilmington with details on the festivities. Alex?
Nikki, as you can see behind me, people are sitting on the steps of the Federal Building right now enjoying this awesome live band they have playing. Now, fireworks don't kick off until around 9 p.m., but they're actually going with a new company this year. And this company is going to be launching the fireworks off a barge from the Cape Fear River. That barge is expected to be moving down here in a matter of moments, actually. And they're going to position it for later tonight over by the second bridge across the river. Fireworks are expected to kick off around 9 p.m. So if you're planning on headed down to this area to watch the show, make sure you do it early so you can get a spot to park and position yourself well so you can enjoy the show. Reporting live in downtown Wilmington, Alex Giles, Fox Wilmington News at 6:30. Nikki?
Thanks, Alex. Well, if you're heading downtown, there are some road closures you need to know about. Water Street between Grace and Market is closed right now for the street fair where Alex just was. Chestnut between 3rd and Front is also closed at this time, and everything west of 3rd Street will be closed down to make way for the fireworks tonight. There's also going to be a detour on 421. And every year, thousands of people flock to the water on the 4th of July, and many of them dock at Masonboro Island for the day. This year, several agencies are coming together to make sure the island stays clean and the people on it stay safe. Now, there's been a growing concern about the trash left on the island, so officers are issuing littering citations and looking out for other things like drinking and driving a boat or even swimming.
People get a little bit of alcohol in them, all of a sudden sometimes they think it's a good idea to try and swim back across the inlet. It's not. We end up pulling people out of the water every single year.
The group masonboro.org was also passing out trash bags. With the sunny weather, officers said this was one of the busiest 4th of Julys they've seen in a long time. It's always busy out there on Masonboro Island. And 22 people found themselves in handcuffs as part of Operation Dry Water last weekend. But officers say that number is 10 people less than citations issued last year at that time. Officials think that boaters are actually getting a better understanding of the risks of driving while impaired. Area law enforcement will, of course, continue to patrol local waters through the weekend. And if you plan on being in the waters this weekend, please listen up. Rip currents are a danger today, have been the past couple of days. Yesterday, 3 people drowned in our area because of strong, dangerous waters. Chief Meteorologist Gannon Medwick has been monitoring these reports, so let's check in with him on the weather.
Hey, thanks, Nikki. And yeah, with a similar wind and wave pattern set up for tomorrow, the risk of rip currents is going to be similar for tomorrow as well, I'm afraid. A moderate risk of rip currents for New Hanover and Pender County beaches for tomorrow, and a high risk of rip currents continues for the Brunswick County beaches. So continue to be safe and vigilant there. We were watching for temperatures to grow into the 80s today. They did. The high at Wilmington, 86. No rain in the gauge. There were very few showers. And that trend continues nicely into this evening. Current temperatures, if you're about to step outside or head to perhaps the street fair, it's low 80s for the likes of Wilmington at 82, hanging on to mid 80s at Elizabethtown there, 86. Everyone getting a south and southeast breeze, 5 to 15 miles an hour as that breeze flow. And that's going to keep up overnight tonight. And in the case of this evening, temperatures dipping into the upper 70s late tonight. Low 70s, the risk of a shower, nice and low. Great for your fireworks plans. There's been a few isolated showers tracking northwest through Columbus County. You can see 1 or 2 showers there. They're quick hitters there, just on the west side of Whiteville. Perhaps, Nikki, a 2-minute shower. Chase you inside, and then you go right back outside because these showers are isolated. I'll have the 7-day forecast coming up.
Very good to know. Thanks, Gannon. All right, well, if you're planning on spending the weekend at Lake Waccamaw, emergency officials are warning you to be careful there, too. Police Chief Scott Hyatt says the recent rain has caused the lake to be 3 to 4 times deeper than normal. And it's expected to get deeper as water leaves other areas. Now, he tells us sometimes when people jump in water that is deeper than what they're expecting, it can actually cause them to panic. And it's also annual free fishing day. You can grab your rods, reels, and sunscreen because today anyone can fish. You don't need your license today, so if you don't have one, you're good to go. Plenty of hopeful fishermen and women have already made their way out to the water. We caught up with one family who decided to head out to the pier for an all-day fishing trip.
It absolutely brings out more people to fish. You can see the pier today, it's absolutely full, and everybody's taking that free fishing day.
And if you haven't cast your line yet, don't worry, free fishing day does not end until 11:59 tonight. So you have until 11:59 to get your fish on. And as we continue, after 2 years, police are not any closer to finding out who killed a woman in the Pine Valley neighborhood 2 years ago. Hear from her family. And it turns out the company involved in a parasailing accident that hurt 2 teens has been in some trouble before. This is Fox Wilmington News at 6:30.
You're watching Fox Wilmington News at 6:30. Local news, better time.
2 years later and still no answers in the murder that shook up a neighborhood in Wilmington. Carol Ann Johnson was found dead in her home in the Pine Valley neighborhood on July 4th back in 2011. In January, new investigators took over this case, and family members say that those investigators keep them updated on where it stands. Johnson doesn't have any relatives in the area. Most of them actually live in Charlotte and South Carolina. And although now it's been 2 years, they say it feels as though the crime happened yesterday.
It's been awful. It's such a hole in our hearts, you know. It's a missing piece in our family that was such an integral part. I mean, she was so loving and giving and caring, and you know, we adored our aunt. My cousins and I just thought the world of her.
And Carol Ann Johnson is buried in Wilmington next to her parents. And coming out of Columbus County, a jury finds Santonio Jenrette guilty in the deaths of Darnell Frink and Delamez Jones. And now we're getting our first look at the victims. Police say Jenrette killed Frink and injured others while they were outside a gas station in Lake Waccamaw. He later killed Jones, who was only 14 years old. According to District Attorney John David, he killed Jones because he witnessed the murder of Darnell Frink in September of 2007. Jenrette was sentenced Wednesday to life without parole. And new details now on a parasailing accident in Florida. Officials say 2 teens who were critically injured are showing small signs of improvement, but this is apparently not the first time the parasailing company has had this type of accident. Sydney Good and Alexis Fairchild suffered head trauma when they crashed into a building when their tow rope broke. Incredible video there. It's scary to watch. Apparently some high winds started dragging their parachute towards the shore. The operator tried to reel in the girls and the cable broke. Aquatic Adventures has had similar accidents before. One involved 2 teens in 2009. They landed in the water after the rope snapped, and another involved a woman being run over by a jet ski. And also new tonight, officials say they're getting a handle on the deadly wildfire in Arizona. Right now, 45% contained, but they do expect that number to increase pretty quickly. Nearly 680 firefighters are on the scene. Officials believe residents who were evacuated might actually be able to return home by this weekend. And officials released some new information about the 19 elite firefighters who were killed in that blaze. The coroner's office says the hotshot team died from burns and breathing problems. The group was deployed last Sunday to what many thought would be a manageable fire caused by lightning, but high winds soon turned the blaze, and that surprised the crew and actually killed all but one member of the team. Well, in lighter news, a record-breaking catch for a man fishing in Alaska as he catches a fish older than the state, if you can believe it. We'll tell you how old that fish was. But before that, Chief Meteorologist Gannon Medwick is breaking down your holiday forecasts.
This is Chief Meteorologist Gannon Medwick with your First Alert weather.
Happy 4th once again, and thanks for staying with us here on Fox Wilmington at 6:30. Great shot from one of our WeatherNet reporters, Christopher Cawley in Bladen County, looking west from North Whiteville. Big thunderstorm cloud today. You can see where the thunder cloud grows in an updraft sense and then fans out where it can't rise anymore. That rising air kind of fans out into an anvil shape. Classic thunderhead look here, but right overhead wasn't a thunderstorm cloud in Bladen County. Maybe a few rogue showers, but it was nice and blue sky at times today. I hope you enjoyed so far today the sunny and partly sunny skies we've been afforded. Very few of these clouds, like we see some bubbling up here on our battleship cam, very few of these clouds have been rain clouds through the day today, and that's going to be a running theme into this evening. We'll keep rain chances low near 10%. Humidity levels high, but not astronomically high, not compared to how they were earlier this week. 74% that RH value, and an 82-degree temperature with a south breeze flowing at 13 miles an hour. That's how Wilmington stacks up. Similar conditions all across southeastern North Carolina. Now, near Whiteville and Chadburn, I should say Bladen, Columbus County, where Christopher Cawley was taking that pic a little earlier. Couple of rogue showers here. These are like little 2-minute showers. So if you have outdoor plans, these just kind of come up on your scene and then move on by. Those organized, widespread, heavy showers and thunder showers that we had earlier this week, they have moved on. A couple of little rogue showers here in Pender County, maybe 1 or 2 in Brunswick. That's why we got that 10% rain chance going into and through this evening. But that river of deep moisture from the tropics has shifted to the west. So there's where the widespread rain is going to continue to be, not only through this evening, but through the weekend as well. For us here in southeastern North Carolina, we're just getting into the influence of a dry high pressure system off into the Atlantic. That Bermuda high nosing in, and we're benefiting from that with rain chances pretty low coming up for tomorrow and through the next several days. While we're on these maps, quick look at the tropics where there's some thunderstorms coagulating here over the Gulf of Mexico. Only a very small chance they develop into anything. Also near the greater Antilles, some thunderstorms operating and a tropical wave of low pressure, very weak and disorganized out to the east in the Atlantic. So tropical storm and hurricane development not likely in the Atlantic basin anytime soon. For tomorrow, we'll keep that slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm going, a lot like today. Passing shower or storm can't totally be taken off the forecast table, but in general, we'll have partly sunny skies and temperatures like today growing from the 70s into the 80s. Now, we mentioned that rip current risk for tomorrow for all of our beaches. Moderate risk for the Pender and New Hanover County beaches tomorrow. Watch for that. Otherwise, a good beach day with only a low rain chance, sunny skies, and at least partly sunny skies for the most part, and highs in the mid-80s. Also, that'll be the ticket for the Brunswick County beaches. High risk of rip currents there, especially around low tide, which that low tide cycle right around noon. And if you're headed offshore, waves at about 4 feet. The wind speed and direction there going to be 10 knots or so, and out of the south and southeast. We'll continue to have a south and southeast breeze flow as we go through time. But with that high backing in from the Atlantic, that high pressure system really shuts off the tap in terms of the atmosphere's ability to crank out widespread showers and storms. So our rain chances are going to stay low, Nikki, as we go through the period. Temperatures will eventually go pretty high. We're talking about low 90s late in the weekend and into next week.
Still looking pretty good, but I don't think we can stress enough the dangers of these rip currents and being aware when you're in the water.
Yeah, for sure. We had the tragedies yesterday with similar wind and wave patterns set up for the rest of today and into tomorrow. I think the National Weather Service doing the prudent thing and issuing those moderate and high rip current risk notations there for the beaches tomorrow. So everybody stay safe.
Yeah, exactly, because a lot of people all along our coast, well, they are enjoying their 4th of July out on the water, and that is keeping one organization very busy. Sea-Tow is responsible for helping out stranded boaters, and they say for them this is one of the busiest times of the year. News at 6:30 reporter Bailey Hicks went for a ride and actually caught a rescue on camera.
Because there's a lot more boats out on the water and many people may be using boats that haven't been used in a while, Sea-Tow says a lot more boaters need their help.
What's wrong with your boat?
We caught this rescue on camera as Sea-Tow tugged a family to shore after their engine failed. It's just one rescue of many, keeping operators busy all day long. Officials say with more boats on the water, there's more problems. Some people run aground trying to go around each other. Others run out of fuel, lose track of time and get stranded in a low tide, or even use up their battery. Other problems come with people using their boats for the first time this season.
If people haven't used their boat a lot all summer and they bring it out for the 4th of July, there's a lot of mechanical problems that can happen, or if they're not, if the waterways, the sandbars have shifted, that can cause problems.
They expect to stay busy through Sunday night. Reporting in New Hanover County, Bailey Hicks, Fox Wilmington News at 6:30.
And if you do get stranded, just make sure that everyone in your party is safe and that they have on life jackets to make sure they know what's going on, or call for help then. Okay, another beautiful remix from PBS featuring a beloved children's show. Again, I'm excited to talk about this one because I don't know if you've seen these. They're very exciting.
I don't think so.
Okay, we'll take a listen. It's good. Ah, yeah.
One of the best inventions
I love this show. I really do. You may remember the Mr. Rogers ones. PBS did a remix song with Bob Ross and Julia Child, similar videos, and they were all made by this guy, John D. Boswell.
Okay.
Yeah, he goes by the name Melody Sheep, and he works for PBS Digital Studios, like remixes. Yeah, and Reading Rainbow, of course, was a popular series in the 80s and 90s, encouraging children to read.
And I remember Bob Ross, too. He used to paint those happy little clouds.
And that's what the name of that video is called, Happy Little Cloud.
That's
yeah.
remixable. I see it.
Yes.
I see it, Nikki.
Yeah, and LeVar Burton, who of course later started Star Trek, he hosted the show. I didn't actually know this, but there's a Reading Rainbow app now available on iTunes.
I learned that too, just now.
And knowing is half the battle, right?
It is, guys.
Okay, well, next, a story you probably won't believe, but it's trending and it's true. A fish caught off the coast of Alaska is discovered to be 200 years old. 200-year-old.
Wow.
Yeah, and that actually makes it older than the state of Alaska.
By a long shot.
Yes. Now, a man from Seattle actually caught this rockfish. It was 41 inches and it weighed 39 pounds. Officials say it's actually the oldest rockfish ever caught and maybe the oldest fish ever hooked. Kind of makes you wonder how old it would have lived if that man had kind of not reeled it in.
It kind of makes you wonder, eat it or mount it, you know, or a little bit. That is quite a find.
Quite a catch, for sure. Now, the average lifespan for that type of rockfish is actually 120 years, so they definitely do live to see a ripe old age.
That cold water up there.
Yeah. And as expected, lots of tweets about the 4th of July, so various trending topics like Happy 4th and Happy Independence Day, very popular today. Quick history lesson for you, for all you people. The Declaration of Independence, approved on this day, of course, in 1776, signed by 56 of our nation's leaders. John Hancock, first to sign. Ben Franklin, oldest to sign. He was 70.
He's a good weatherman, too.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that. And there were an estimated 2.5 million people in the country at that time. Today, it's somewhere around 316 million, so a lot more people in the world.
Ben Franklin, definitely one of, if not the most favorite historical figures of mine.
Yeah,
he's a good day.
Classic guy, classic dude of history. All right, well, if those weren't enough facts about America, here's some more about some dog breeds in America. Dog breeds in America. In honor of Independence Day, here's a list of 9 American dog breeds known for being made in the USA. Of course, all breeds come from overseas and they're brought into it. But we have got the Red-Bone Coonhound, the Boston Terrier, the Alaskan Malamute, American Water Spaniel, and the Rat Terrier. Fun fact, President Theodore Roosevelt was a fan of rat terriers, and they lived at the White House with him. And some of you know my Spunky right there. She's a little rat terrier.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's a full-blooded rat terrier. She's very cute, I might say.
I think those are all kissable faces on that montage.
Oh, I know.
Nice.
Exactly. So Chesapeake Bay Retriever, Plot Hound, Chinook, American Pit Bull Terrier. Those are your American breeds. Very fun stuff.
Beautiful.
Yep. All right, well, the best bridesmaid speech ever. Yes, you have to hear this to believe it. The bride's sister found a way to shine at the wedding. That story next.
Two lovers in love walk down the aisle, down the aisle, down the aisle.
Oh yeah, a bridesmaid gave one great speech at her sister's wedding in California. The maid of honor's toast was a rap dedicated to her sister and brother-in-law to the tune of Eminem's Without Me. Jennifer Gabrielli gave this toast on June 29th, and now it's going viral, as you can imagine. It's being shared as the greatest maid of honor speech of all time. And if you want to hear it, the whole thing, all you gotta do is look for it on foxwillington.com. And I advise you to watch this.
Probably the first and only one ever done in a hooded sweatshirt as well.
At a wedding.
That's a good look.
Yeah.
She's
Making weddings
into it,
fun. Yeah.
Good.
She's pretty good too. Watch it.
We'll got to check that out. You can check out the 7-day forecast for another round here. Rain chances not 0 tomorrow. Could be a passing shower or thunderstorm in spots. But operative word there, passing. Don't think it's going to be a whole day thing. Partly sunny skies. Temperatures take off to the mid and upper 80s tomorrow. We'll get some seasonably hot low 90s into the fold from Sunday into next week. All in all, a nice forecast.
Sounds good. We'll see you guys at 10.